Hey sewing family, and welcome back to another tutorial section. So in the previous video we drafted how to cut this all shoulder bustier top. So today we are going to be putting the pieces together. Now if you have not subscribed to this channel, please kindly do so as we'll be posting more videos on other sewing tutorials. So right, this is my pattern paper like I drafted previously. So I'm gonna ahead to cut them on my main fabric. So I added some allowances to this, so you can see some allowance on the cup part of this. I added half-inch allowance in order for me to use to sew this piece back, so I don't have a shortage on my measurement. So I went ahead to add half inches on those parts I pointed to. Then the length of this also, it is a lace, so I wanted the lace to be on the down part of it. So you can see the two pieces for the front, then the back. So we're going to be working on these three pieces now, putting them together. Alright, I also went ahead to cut a bridle to serve as my lining, although I'm also going to be using the lining piece. Right, so I'm going to be using this wording. Some people call it padded, but here it is called wording. Whatever it is, just go ahead to get this. So we're going to be cutting this just from the top of this, then down to your under bust area. So you don't need to cut the whole of this to cover the whole of the fabric like you're cutting for the clothes. So just go ahead to cut some distance that will just be accurate for this. Now you go ahead to cut for the other part too. So guys, this is what it looks like after I was done cutting. As you can see, it's just the parts I need that I've gone ahead to cut. So go ahead and do the same thing for yours, and I hope you have this result as well. So now, this is the center front, as you can see. So you have three pieces after you are done cutting. You have one in the middle, then you have the two that will be in the side. So go ahead and make sure the gummy part of this is facing your fabric, so that it can stick to your fabric. Now I'm going to be using these to illustrate, so just pay attention as I show you how it is done. So if you are using an Ankara fabric, you don't need to use this bridle to cover yours, but like I said, I'm working with a lace, that's why I'm using this to cover. So if you're working with a lace as well, then your bridal satin will be there first, followed by the lace you are working with. So just go ahead to arrange them like this. So the gummy part of this is going to be at the back of the satin you are working with. So you have this when you are done with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be top stitching this gently, because we cannot gum on the lace as well. So just go ahead and sew in order to hold these pieces together so they become one. So you go ahead and repeat the same process for the three pieces you have. So again, you place this on it. Keep in mind that again the neater part or the shiny part is going to be facing up like this. So it is the back that is on the gum part of this wording. Now you're going to place the lace on it again like this. Again, if you're using an Ankara fabric, just go ahead and add an interface to your Ankara fabric, then place directly on the gum part of this. So you're going to be placing the back of the Ankara on the gummy part of this. Alright, so for the third one as well, go ahead and repeat the same process for it. So we're going to be stitching that part down gently with around 0.2 inches just to hold this together, since it is more than 2. Alright, so for the last part now, so you can just see the way I'm repeating the process again. So this is just basically what you're going to do, whether you're working with a lace or you're working with an Ankara fabric, whatever fabric you are working with, just go ahead and arrange them like this. Now we're going to take this to our sewing machine. So this is what we have after we are done stitching. As you can see, I just sewed a tiny bit in order to hold these three pieces together. So just go ahead and do this for yours as well. So that is what the three looks like. Now I'm going to be fixing the three together. so it can give us the cup or the bustier shape we're looking for. Then since this is also what I'm working with, I'm gonna head to hem that part as well, because I don't want it to be removing out. Now I'm going to place the first side like this. So just go ahead and arrange this like this. You can go ahead and use a pin to hold this together before you take this to your sewing machine. Then you work on the other part as well, using the side back front. Also, you go ahead and join with half an inch. That is the essence of the half an inch allowance we added while cutting this. So I went ahead to cut the same for my lining piece and added an interface to it. So whatever I'm doing on my fabric, I'm going to be working on my lining as well. Now this is what I have after I was done cutting, after I was done joining them together rather. So you have this result. As you can see, it has that curvy part, like the bust part is really showing. So you have this when you are done with yours as well. Now the half inch allowance we took in order to join this together, we are going to go ahead and use our tailor hand to iron this out so we have it flat. Now the essence of this is to make all pointy parts align well. So if you do this, you're going to have this result. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, to join the lining as well. So this is what I have for both the front piece and the lining piece. So whatever I did for the front, I did for the lining as well. So go ahead and do this for yours, guys. Now that you're done with this, now we're going to go ahead now to open this up, like I said. But before we open it up, we want to give this the sweetheart neck illusion, but we're not going to make this too deep. So this actually depends on how deep you want yours to be. So for mine, I'm just going to be going down by 1 inch because I don't want this to be deep at all, like I said. So go ahead and mark 1 inch on that part, then give it a nice curve into what you have on the upper part. So the shape, whatever shape you give it here, is how it will appear. So if you want it to be deeper, you can go down by 2 or 3 inches. So go ahead and blend in the curves. Alright, so this is what you have after you are done with that. Now when you are satisfied with the curve, you can also use a curve rule to blend this part, then go ahead and cut this out gently. So the same thing we've done for this lining piece, we'll go ahead and do the same for the fabric as well. So we're working with both the lining and the fabric. So we're going to be dropping the fabric also by 1 inch, then we'll curve it in. So this is what we have. Now we're going to be working on the fabric itself. So you go ahead and fold it into 2 equal parts, as I did for the lining. So folding it is to ensure you have the middle part of this touching each other so that you have a nice shape. Now this is what I had for the front piece after joining them together and after giving it a curve. So as you can see, both the lining piece and the fabric both tally. So you have to have this when you are done with yours as well, guys. Now that we are done with this, we're going to be working on the back. But before we work on the back, let's go ahead and open this place up. So guys, this is what I had after I was done opening it up. So as you can see, opening this up will actually make your bustier look neat and nice. So I went ahead to do the same thing for my lining piece. So using a tailor's hand will make this easier for you to open. Then you can go ahead and notch out some parts, but be careful while notching not to cut your fabric. So now that we are done with this, we're going to be placing the lining piece on this, and we're going to be using it to turn this out. So just go ahead and place your lining on the fabric, right side facing right side. Then on that top part, go ahead and sew up with 1/2 inch. Then on the other side again, you sew with 1/2 inch. Then leave the slanted part out because it is the armhole. That's where we're going to be attaching our sleeve. So go ahead and do the same thing, the top and then the 2 sides. Go ahead and join them together. Now this is what I have after I was done joining it together. So I hope you have the same result, guys. Now I talked about not wanting a very deep curve, so this is what I had with my shape after I was done. As you can see, it looks so nice. So I hope you have the same result, guys. Now for the back piece, I'm going to be using this fabric as well in order to serve as a cover for it. So I'll go ahead and use that to turn on my back and then work on my dart. So if you've seen the previous video on how we drafted it, you will see that there was a dart on it. So this is what the front piece looks like. Now for the back piece, I've gone ahead to turn the both sides. I've added a zipper to this. Then this is what my dart looks like as well. So I just use my nipple to nipple measurement in order to draft my dart from my zipper allowance. So now what is left is just to join these two pieces together in order to make them become one. So now just go ahead and take your body measurement on this part and then go ahead and shape this all up. So guys, this is what I had after I was done shaping it. So I hope you've gone ahead to input your measurements and then shape this also, so you have this result when you are done with that. Now this is the slanted part that, like I said, is our arm move. So I'm just going to be using this sleeve, this tiny all shoulder sleeve for mine. So I don't want something really fitted, so this is going to be a loose sleeve. That's why it is not, you can see it's wider. So whatever you want your sleeve to be, you can go ahead and attach it to that part. So I'm just going to take this to my sewing machine now and join this directly to the fabric. So this is what I had after I was done joining. As you can see, the pieces have finally come together, and this is what my sleeve looks like. Like I said, this is going to be a loose sleeve. It is not going to be firm on the body. So if this video was helpful, please subscribe to this channel and then please turn on your notifications so that you'll be notified when we put on new videos. We'll see you in our next video, guys.